Hi everyone, I'm gonna try to show you what I use for curriculum for my first grader. I don't really have like bought curriculum. Some stuff, you know, I did get workbooks and stuff like that, and some books are from the state. A lot of our stuff comes from the library or things that I print out. So pretty much I just make do. Anyways, for science, we're doing zoology, and I am using the Easy Peasy for zoology. So what I did is I printed everything that went on for each day for the lower level as part of zoology goes. And then I just went online and I found things that I could do off the computer with him, because I do not like to be on the computer a lot. My eyes aren't too good for that. And then what we do is I keep all the worksheets in here for whatever we need for our lessons as I find them. They're in here. The other ones are still on my computer, but what is most recent that I'm going to be using, I'll keep it in this file. And then I read from this book, and this is one of the Childcraft books. So there's stories here that go along with the lessons, and that's what I use for the lessons. He does all his learning stuff in a notebook type of way, so we'll do like notebooking pages. So like this, he does, he did his definitions, and here he glued his animals. We didn't do this one. Like the reptiles, I didn't really use it, so we just pretty much, I'll just ask him what this is, and he just gives me the definition without looking at the other page. And then he glued these down and colored them, and he did his classifying. He did, you know, the vertebrate and all his definitions on here. And pretty much I just do notebooking with whatever day we need. I'll print it out the worksheet and just put it on here. Sometimes he writes it down. Other times he just uses whatever was on there and he'll glue it on. The most recent one we have done, oh, I did this also. This wasn't on the thing. I just pretty much made it up for him because I didn't want to be online. So that's what we did for animal classification. He did a Venn diagram that I gave him. So sometimes I change what the assignment is. If she has like a game and I don't want him to play that game, I'll just find something that would be kind of like the game but a worksheet or something he can add to his notebook to prove that he did that day. For this, we read the animal teeth book on how to tell, you know, I pretty much had him pick what animal he would want to be in, the kind of teeth he would have, what it would be, and why he wanted to be that animal. So this is the book that he read for this activity. So this day was a game online, and I didn't want him to do the game, so this instead is what we did. And then he's been doing this one, which was Carnivores, and I made him find 2 of his clip arts that I save in a bucket, and the same for Herbivore. And that's as current as we have gotten. And I will show you now like the books that I use for zoology. We use a first look at mammals, and this is our book. I have to put these little stickers of ours so they don't get tangled with our library books when we take them back. Then we have What's in the Pond, Dear Dragon, Endangered Animals, The Ecosystems, Pond Food Chains, and this is our next book that we're going to be reading, Who Eats What. And then I also have, these were Valentine's Day cards that were all animals that I had. I bought them for like 3 cents when they were on clearance. So what he does with this is he'll classify them, or like right now what he's doing is he's going to separate them into herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores. So that's what he's going to be doing with this activity. And that's all for zoology. So let me move these over. Tried to put everything on our table, but I guess it's not big enough. And for Bible, we read out of my book of Bible stories. And it has really beautiful pictures. I really love it. So we'll read a lesson a day, and then we'll answer the questions that are in the back of the book. And I only do this out loud with him answering the questions that it has on there. And then it also has where to look in the Bible as well for the story. And then I went online and I printed some worksheets to go with each of our stories. So he just goes around and he just colors them. And as far as we've gotten is to day 6. So that's what we're doing for that. For history, we do it 2 ways. For geography, I use 5 in a row. So for 5 in a row, we are doing a pair of red clogs. I don't do geography every day. I do it once a week because I like to find a lot of stuff to it, and I want to make sure that he knows exactly, you know, where the continent is or whatever it is that we're studying. So I want him to really grasp it, so I take a little bit longer with geography. So we're doing a pair of red clogs, and I have, you know, printed out what the instructions are, or what I have to do, and if I have worksheets that I need, they would be in this file. And then as well, he also does notebooking for this. I think I've shown you before where we did Madeline and Ping. And so far for the red clogs, he has done the definition for island. He's done his little drawing where he colors and he writes the continent. He did the flag. And he did a haiku activity. So there's a famous poem. So he did do a haiku activity for that. Let me go get it real quick. Okay, I'm back. So for the haiku poem, what he did was he used some clay, and he still hasn't finished it. And he rolled himself a log because I didn't want him picking out sticks from outside. So I made him roll his log, and we let it dry for a few days, which is why we have paused a little bit in geography. And then he did his poem on here. And he did the old pond, frog jumps, and splosh. So what he is going to do is on the back, he glued a popsicle stick just to make it a little bit more sturdy. And then with the hot glue gun, he's just going to put bead right here and then glue his stick so that he can hang up his haiku poem on the wall. So that's our thing that we're working on for geography. Let me scoot this over. And here's the book, A Pair of Red Clogs. We have been using the Colors of Japan book, and pretty much it just goes on each color, and it tells you a little bit about why Japan uses that color and how they use it. And then we have origami. That's another one of the things that he's going to do. He's going to do an origami for art. When we get to art, I do sometimes use the 5 in a row. If it has really good stuff, I'll use it in the notebooking. This is, as you can see, our book. And it's all about Japan, so we're using that book. And then we're using this book, Look What Came from Japan, which he thought it was awesome that the Xbox and things like that came from Japan. And then Life in Ancient Japan, which is also a book that we're using. And because he watches a movie out of every book that we read from 5 in a row, I am using Mulan, even though I know it's not from Japan, but just because of the samurai and stuff like that that we're learning about. So we'll be doing that. So when we're not doing geography, then we do history. And for history, I use Harcourt Horizons, and this one is from the state. They have a tendency to let you borrow the textbook without the workbook, or the workbook without the textbook. I feel, you know, sometimes makes it a little harder on some people, but I was lucky to actually found the printable workbooks for this book. So I saved it on my computer, and we'll just read and do our worksheets. So as you can see, pretty much you just read the chapter. And they're really short chapters and words that he can pretty much read for himself. There's a few words I help him with, but not too many. So I don't do too many of the activities in here. I will answer, we do questions out loud, so he does those. When we got to here, we saw how Braille is. I ordered him a little card of Braille, A through Z, and got that on the mail. We'll be studying that in 2nd grade. And he still hasn't finished the Unit 1. So we're working on that because he's about to take a test of it, which I also have the printables for. So I'm reviewing everything again. So I printed those worksheets out again for him to do on his own, where I'm not helping him at all. So I know what he still knows and what he doesn't. And then the things that he still needs work on, I'll go back and review. But like I said, this is one of the printables for it. So that's what we do for social studies. And I have shown his daily binder. So he does his daily binder every morning. That's how I keep attendance, actually. So what I did, he used to do it with the calendar page that I got from Confessions of a Homeschooler. But I found that buying a calendar myself and actually having him put in the numbers, it's much easier for me. So that's what we're doing now. So I got him a SpongeBob calendar. So that's his daily binder. And now I'm going to talk a little bit about spelling. So for spelling, this is the state book. As you can see, they tell you do not write in the book. So because I cannot write in the book, I started doing notebooking. So whatever I see on the pages is pretty much what we do. So some of this stuff I think is way too easy. My son already knows it, but I figured, well, we'll review. So they had, like, you know, to find the sounds and find some pictures. So I made my own notebooking pages for each of these pages. And as you can see, so he did that. And then when it gets to the words, when they start studying words in the workbook, I did the same thing. I will just write the word and I write down the sentences, and he just does it himself inside his notebook. So he's really not missing out and is actually doing the workbook but on the notebooking. So and we did that. So then over here I actually found a spelling list for 1st grade on the internet, and I saved it. So we're going to start doing that. And I will use the workbook, you know, every other day. So we'll do the spelling. And this was like a pre-test, and he just whizzed through it. But I'm still going to work on them. So I've done like little things for him to do, and these are what he's supposed to do next. So as you can see, I just make little things up, and he just does it. I do put the lines that are cut because he still needs work, as you can see when he does them on the actual lines. But that's what we do for spelling. Hold on a second. Sorry, my husband keeps messaging me, so I have to stop the video. So for PE, I use these little cards. I have no idea. I do not remember where I printed them out from. But pretty much he just picks a card and does what it says in the back. For art, I borrowed this book from the library, and I will be buying it. I love it. It is the Osborne Art Treasury. It's actually lessons. Let me open it up. I love it. Like, I really, really love it. So I will be buying it. So like this lesson, you read about the Starry Night, about Van Gogh, and over here it tells you exactly what to read. And the stories are like, the information you're reading is really short, so it's really good for my son. And then the next page actually gives you step by step on how you can make your own Starry Night. And the same thing for the next famous artist. It will show you their painting and it will tell you a little bit about it. And then it will give you on how to make it. The same thing for the next one. The artist in this book, let me see if I can show you some. I'll put a little bit close up. There's that page, and then there's this page, and that's it. And what my plan is, after I get done with this book, I'm going to take a little trip to the art gallery that's around here in our house, and that's what we do for art. Other than, you know, whatever I find in 5 in a row or little things that I want to do. Like another thing that I had actually from last year and never did. So I'll be doing it this year. And it's my handprint calendar. So I'm going to start this and we'll do this on Friday. And he's just going to put his little hands here. And this is more for me because I would like to keep those little handprints from when he was in 1st grade. And I think I might do this every year until, you know, he grows out of it. So that's another art thing that we'll be doing this Friday. For spelling, here's his letter tiles. So whenever he gets new words, I make him use these. And I had the little cards I had shown before where it shows different activities to do with his cards, and he just picks one. I don't like him doing the same activity, so I do tell him he has to change his cards every week. And I'm going to stop this video right now because I don't know if it's going to erase on my phone, but I will do another video on the rest of his schooling stuff. Thank you for watching. Hit like if you like, and if you have any questions, just let me know and I'll show you a little bit more. Thank you.